We live?
We are live.
Hi guys, welcome to the Guitar Summit, but technically it's my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing some songwriting on an 8-string. And yesterday on riffhard.com, I took a riff of a member and showed where it could go. And I didn't finish the track, and I really wanted to, so I thought that it would be the perfect time to finish it on this particular live stream. So the guy that handed in his track, he's called Max Koch, and I really enjoyed working on the riffs that he sent in, and I'm just going to play it to you now so you can see what we got up to last night. But I'm going to try and finish it today in this live stream. So I've got Adam Steele from Hot Pole Studios, which is changing all the cameras. So if you're wondering how I'm changing cameras, it's him over there. If you're not familiar with his channel, you should go check it out. And yeah, also check out Guitar Summit website as well, because they've been doing some really great things, considering, you know, we're all locked in our houses, not really able to do anything, you know, other than work or, you know, watch Netflix. But anyway, this is a track from Max. This is exactly what we got up to last night. All right, so that's what we got up to last night, and obviously it's definitely not finished, but we did make quite a good headway. Now, Max gave me his original track, and there was a couple of moments where I was like, that's pretty sick, and it was all to do with taking out little sections of it to build on it, and one of the motifs was this. And if we want to just break down that first riff so you can see where we're going, the first riff goes... So that motif is used in two different places. Two different places there, just in different positions in my scale. So that's kind of what I've been trying to do. Take different pieces of his riffs and show where they could go. And I find that often as guitar players, we constantly just try and write new things rather than trying to work on the things we already have. And there's loads of different things that we can do, like such as playing them in different octaves, playing in different positions of our scale, but also playing them in reverse or taking some notes out and playing it in two parts and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and you're going to see me jam that right now with his phrases, motifs. So if we take a look at this last riff, which was the last one that I wrote last night, and it was based off a rhythm that he had, which basically went something like this. Here we go. It's a fairly straightforward riff, but I don't really have a middle section riff to go to. So I'm going to try and amalgamate something from that with something from our intro, because we've only had our intro riff once, which is the one that I just played, which is... So, intro riff. I'm going to try and amalgamate it with our chord sequence. So our movement. Yeah, maybe we can do something like that. Something like a build-up that's like all palm muted, and it would sound pretty cool. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. So all of it's based off this one little motif, which is this. And I'm just following this pattern throughout when I'm changing between the different positions. Obviously keeping within the key of the original song, which or the original idea that Max had, which is in just a normal minor scale or Aeolian if you want to see it modally, but he also had the major sixth in there during his chorus, which is the... So it's that, I would say that's just a passing note of a major sixth in there, which, you know, sounds pretty cool. Kept it there because I thought it was good. So I'm just going to continue on this until I get something that I find solid, and then I'm going to program the drums, record it in, and hopefully we have a riff that we can base around our middle section that builds up into that big riff. That's it. So I think we got it. think we've almost got it. Let's try and get this down at least, and we can just play around with it further from there. So Henning Pauly had a problem with me not labeling my tracks in different colors so you can see it better. I'm not going to label them, Henning. But I will do for the next one, for sure. All right. Guitar Summit man himself is texting me. What does he want? What do you want, Stefan? They're here. Say hello to the Guitar Summit. Mr. Stefan Killerman, who is the lead organizer of the Guitar Summit, and he's awesome. He also is artist relation for a bunch of companies. I first met him when he was with Ibanez. He's a really great guy. So say hello to Stefan Killerman. He's a very lovely man. And that's what I'm going to say, because now I've got this riff idea. I don't want to forget it. Hi, Stefan. Now I've forgotten the riff. I've forgotten the riff. Almost. Right. I've nearly got it twice. I've nearly got it just then. And then we'll get the drums. Drums. It's that bit I keep missing out a note. I think I got it, right. Right, that's the riff. Right, let's program some drums to that. And then try to play it again. So as far as drums go, I'm using, I'm still on Superior 2 actually, just because it works. Guitar tone is a Pod XT, because it also just works for me still. And guitar cables are clots, strings are DR. So yeah, I've just got what I'm doing here on drums is I've got obviously just a half-time snare because this is gent. And 4/4 cymbals. Let's just do a crash of some sort. But I'm probably going to do this all on toms or something like a closed hat or something, because I plan on actually palm muting the whole thing, so it's more like a build up, and then eventually it will build up to being, then it will go open and then go into a heavy version maybe. We'll see. So, might even start it on the hat. So I'm going to listen for the accent points and try and hit those. Let's move this to a pedal hat. Let's just start properly and do the drum fill, tom fill properly. There we go. So da-da-da-da, hit that third one. Kick. Let's see what we got here. Dun dun, boom boom boom. Yeah. Da-da-da. So yeah, we want that on toms as well. Okay, so yeah. I'll obviously make this more sort of. I'm trying to think of a drummer at the same time as programming these drums, and obviously change the velocities and stuff like that. But for now, I'm just trying to get a basis of an idea by hitting the accent points and stuff like that. So. Da-da-da. Right, that's good for our rough drums. Let's try and just get it down and played properly, palm muted guitar and stuff like that, and then I'll play around with these velocities. But obviously, we only have an hour, and it's not actually really that much time. So I'm just trying to rush this so you guys can see my sort of thought process behind doing this. So right, how do I play this again? So... could even do something cool. 1 minute, I just need to make sure I've got 2 strings because Max's tuning was a little bit strange, and it was actually on a 6, but I just transposed it because it was an F sharp. I don't have it any other way. I normally have Dadgad and have an extra octave, so I could play this an octave higher, but it's going to take too long for me to work out with only the hour we've got, so I'll just do it on the low string for now. To get it. God damn it. I start to play it right, and then I start to play it right. I'm sure you guys are well familiar with playing over and over again, especially if you record yourselves. It's an ongoing battle of it, just playing it badly all the time. So anyway, let's go. Alright, that'll do for now. And other side, and then we'll add the bass and then start building. right, cool. Let's do it on the bass. So I'm just gonna change to a bass patch over here and on my trusty pod. Okay. Do I follow on the guitar? For now, I think I will. I'd probably do something a little bit different to build on the bass, but for now, let's just get the same thing down. Okay, so there was one 4-note phrase that Max did in his original track, and I did a variation of it in this middle section. And I'm going to variate it again. So this is the lead part that I came up with last night. Which goes like this. Something along those lines, and I really like those 4 notes. Sounds like Christmas, doesn't it? So I'm just gonna play around with something based around those notes, based around that rhythmic motif, to try and build up to that point that I'm trying to reach. And if you have any questions about anything that I'm doing, I will go and answer your questions towards the end of this stream, which we
are compiling the questions.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're about halfway through. Perfect. Thank you very much, Adam.
We're on it.
All right. Then we can do something like that, taking the 4-note motif that we originally had, which obviously was over here. There was also a harmony going on, which was. So I'm gonna try taking that and see what it sounds like going into that section. So I've got my lead track here, Let's go. Something like that. I think that was quite cool. So basically the phrase in the original one was... So we've just taken that and we've gone... Just added in a little change into the end link there, and let's just see what that sounds like. Really want to do an octave higher than that. Do you hear that? It's my guitar.
Is it the bridge?
No, it's the headstock. It's because it's 8 string, so I'm just having a look for my little muter that I have, which is on this guitar over here. And that is one of the main obstacles with having more than 6 strings, that you start getting even more weird noises. So I think it's here, but we'll see. Ah, it might be this just going. It might just be that, so let's have a look. It is actually just that hitting my neck. Alright, cool. Right, I'm going to sit like that then, tilt back a little bit so that can't hit. And now we've got an idea for another riff as well, because I think this on the low string would sound pretty fucking sick. Excuse my language. So I build up, getting it. Alright, so I'm going to do it on the low string as well. I think the first one was alright. Let's do that left side. Didn't mean to play that last one. Let's just cut it for now. So I have to play it again and bore you with my terrible, terrible playing when it comes to recording. But I think we all make as many mistakes as this. Well, I do anyway, so, but that's no excuse. So just to go back, just so that you guys are still following the original motif. And that's what we started this riff with. And then, based off that original motif, same movement. And we also included that slide. So we're constantly taking from the same ideas, just trying to expand on them. And now I came up with that lead line. I want to explore that. So I'm just gonna give me another bar here just so I can get this idea down as it's fresh. A metronome would help a lot. Da-da-da-da. So that's the original bit from the intro. Which I'm trying to get in there. Can't quite play it yet, but just add that on to the end just to sort of, again, take something else from the song to make it all relate. But I also think I might do it in a different position of the scale and do it here. I think that'll be quite cool for a heavy section, but I'm just going to get the drums down for this quickly. We are running out of time. Time is not my side today. I'm usually, just stressed about trying to write something on camera, and I've actually got something here to actually do. How many questions do we have, Adam?
Let's have a look.
Just so I know, just so we can... We can definitely make that drum beat more interesting at one point, but let's just get the idea down. I'm going to do it all on the low string as well. All right, and then add in that thing, so I think it'll sound good. So. Okay, now I'm just going to do just the da-da-da-da and take the da-da-da-da-da, you know, the just the open note down a little bit. So I'm just going to do the in-between bits. You'll see. Right, and then the left side. Oh yeah. Am I recording on another channel? No, I'm not. All right, okay, cool. So there's that. Right. With a lead part over it, that could be quite cool. It's a little bit basic for my personal tastes right now. But let's just get the idea down and then we can expand on it later. Let's play that a little bit better. What would be really cool would be to do a call and response kind of thing with the lead, which could be quite cool. Because there's one, I think there's 3 spaces between each one. Wrong one. No, that's the right one, yeah. Let's have a look at this one. Then you could have 1, 2 more as well. So you could have like a 3-way bounce across the whole spectrum in different keys. I say different keys, but different points of the scale. And I think it would be quite cool to have like, and then. You hear what I'm saying, right? That's a lot of reverb. I think we need more.
More reverb!
Turn that down. Sorry. Let me try and just do it just on this for one so we can see. Yeah, because we've only got 10 minutes left. 10 whole minutes. So, clean 1, stereo in. Wrong one. Stereo in. Should be 13 and 14, yeah. And then I'm going to do another clean part now with the my brain. In fact, I think it can only do that. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, the way I've done it is that. So yeah, it can only have the 2. So maybe I'll just do a harmony of it, which would be quite cool. So instead of... Let's try that. And then maybe one moving one like that. So yeah, we'll start on the, we've obviously got the other one doing. So we'll do... Let's just try that. That could be cool. Now to just play it right once. So bizarre. So bizarre. again, just can't seem to work this one out. It happens sometimes. It's kind of right, but it's just so close. Oh, damn it. All right, okay, we've only got 5 minutes left, so I'm just going to want to see if this actually will go into that section, and then I'm just going to answer a couple of questions before I have to get going, unfortunately. But if you want some more of this, then wholeheartedly recommend that you sign up to riffhard.com, because we do this every single month with a different riff from a different member. So, let's have a listen to see what this sounds like.
And it's longer, so we get to answer almost every question.
What'd you say?
I said, so and it's a lot longer, so we get to answer almost every question.
Exactly. Well, it works. So I've just global copied it, and now I'm gonna global paste it in to get it into that bit of the song. Yes. So we've got one of it there, and I want to copy that intro riff for it because that's what I thought it needed. So global copy again. Go in there, and then global paste. That's what I did wrong. Paste time. There we go. We succeeded in getting something that works with it. Obviously, it isn't finished, but it works. And it's a case of polishing off the cobwebs and just doing all the little bits and pieces, the pieces that take the longest time. But I think the riff is cool, and I think there's a lot we can do with it. So anyway, just going to answer some of your questions before we have to get, we get the boot. So let me just see what we've got here. I'm just scrolling up. There's quite a few messages from you guys.
Your moderator has sent you a list.
Oh, has he now? If you don't mind going off of the screen, then I will find that list. There you go. Live questions. Thank you so much, Kieran. Kieran is an admin over at RIFFHARD. Thank you so much for doing this, Kieran. Is this live going to stay on YouTube somehow? Yeah, it will stay on YouTube. So this will be live after this live stream. What's the tuning for this? And it's a bit weird. It's basically drop B, but then the low string has been drop tuned to F sharp. So it's the sixth thing, where it's double drop the same note. But because I didn't have a sixth string that was set up for Max's six string tuning, I just had drop B flat with a low F sharp. So I've actually added in an extra string. So it's double drop. It's F sharp B, F sharp B. It's very similar to the tuning that I use on 8 string, but then the top strings, it makes no sense to me because it's not in the dadgad variation, it's just drop B. So then there's a string in here that doesn't make sense, but it worked when I did an open chord on it, which you heard in that verse section where I just ring it out and it sounded cool. So yeah, the tuning is basically drop B flat with a low F sharp. Hey Browne, how do you go about the odd rhythms and accents that get you the groovy feel? Do you think about specific time signatures or just off of feel alone? It's always just off of feel. Most of the time, most of our stuff is in 4/4, and it's just about the accent placement. Occasionally it's in something else, like for example, the Memoirs chorus I think is in 7/4. But most of the time it's just in 4/4 and how it feels. So next question is where's your tone coming from? And it's a Pod XT Pro, which probably isn't on any camera. Maybe that one?
We can see it.
Yeah, it's right down there. And I've been using that thing for 13 years now. And it works, It's a really, the clean sound in it's just epic. And it's just been included on version 3.0 of the Helix. And I got a pretty good clean sound out of it. So maybe it might be time to retire the XT. We'll see. But it's definitely not going anywhere because they got something very, very right on that unit, line 6. I just love how it sounds. I think it's great.
Probably worth the shout out that at some point very soon we're going to look at completely changing all of John's tones and documenting it on riffhard.com.
Yeah, there you go. Another plug.
Hey!
So did he have the riff planned or is he coming up with it on the spot? I didn't have it planned. That was just me just doing it. If you want to watch this video back, you'll see that I'm just messing around with little pieces of Max's riffs that he handed in, and the same goes for the stream that I did on Riff Rescue last night on RIFFHARD. It's just a case of just doing it on the spot, and it is. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit stressful being on live stream trying to come up with something because obviously it's like when someone's watching you trying to pot a ball on pool or something like that. He'll know what I'm talking about back there. It's different than when you're doing it by yourself. You can get in that environment, but when loads of people are watching, then it's a little bit more complicated. But I didn't have any of it planned. I literally didn't play any guitar today. It just came out, and that's why I was playing around with it. Yeah, incredibly stressful. I didn't know if anything was going to come out, so I'm glad that something did. And Adam over there can vouch that I didn't do anything for this. There was a couple.
He doesn't have the time.
I don't have the time, no. All right, next question is, do you have any tips for processing low-tuned guitars such as 8 strings? A little bit of compression, just touching it to sort of bring in the bottom end. A couple of filters, high pass and low pass. A little bit in, because if you think about a guitar speaker, it starts trailing off at 5k and normally only goes up to about 15k. So my advice to you is actually to look at the spectrums of a guitar speaker and see what's happening and try and emulate that, because that's kind of what you want, isn't it? Which is, that's kind of what I do. And then cut out some mids, especially for metal, because it just gets a little bit mushy around that sort of frequency area, and try not to do too much. It's all about the source sound. If the source sounds good, then you shouldn't have to do loads, and also compare it to what your drums and bass are doing, because if it sounds good by itself, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, it's all about how it sounds in a mix. Like when you hear a guitar tone that you love in a mix, it's how it interacts with everything else, and if you solo it, it probably doesn't sound anything like you imagined. So that would be my tip for processing low-tuned guitars. Listen to what's there, try and find the frequency problems of the lower end. Obviously, versus a 6-string guitar, you have the problems you know, because it's tuned lower, it starts interfering with the bass and other instruments in that frequency range. So it's just a case of just doing exactly what you would do normally to processing a guitar. It's just a case of refining it, but in a lower region, if that makes sense. Hey John, what are your personal preferences for vocals in the track? Clean, harsh, scream, etc. Who are your favourite vocalists? Thanks for sharing your workflow. You're the man. For vocals, favourite vocalist, Ian Kenny from Carnival. Kim Benzie from Dead Letter Circus is unbelievable as well. Recently, and it's because of my girlfriend, I started to really like Tool, and I was always a bigger fan of A Perfect Circle, but I really, really like Maynard's voice. I think it's phenomenal. So yeah, as far as preferences for vocals in the track, I like them all, as long as it works with what's there, as long as it serves the song, basically. I'm down for anything, apart from maybe No Breeze. Anyone remembers what they are. Okay, do you barely edit the rhythm guitar to the grid or keep it 100% natural? I prefer the sound of a really good take, because there's a point where you hear it and it sounds like a synth because it's too tight. Like, a human cannot possibly play that, regardless of how good they are. There gets to a point where it doesn't sound real anymore, and I prefer the sound of it being really tight but well played. It has a different feel to it over the overly tight thing that, again, it just starts to sound like a synth. Even if you just comp it, if it's overly comped and everything's fixed, it doesn't sound quite real. It loses that natural groove. Capturing that moment is painstaking, to be honest, but it depends if that's what you want to go for. I just prefer the sound of it. I think it sounds better. And I think that I would rather sit here for 3 weeks to get one guitar riff down perfectly than spend 10 minutes to get a compilation and then just edit it, because I know that the end result is going to have a different feel to it, if that makes sense. Not that either way is wrong or right. It's just, you know, when you listen to an Incubus album or something like that, you can hear some of the fuck-ups, but they're not really fuck-ups. They're like part of the performance that is kind of missing from when you over-edit things. In my opinion, obviously, that's, you know, either way sounds good, then fair play, but that's my personal preference. So unfortunately, there are a couple of other questions, but I do have to get off because Mr. Guitar Summit Man is summoning me, so I want to say thank you very much for watching. This will be on my YouTube channel. Thanks to the Guitar Summit for asking me to do this workshop of songwriting. And the main reason that I did this is because the last songwriting session I did physically at the Guitar Summit, I'm sure a couple of you have seen it on YouTube, where I talk about, you know, pretty similar things to what I'm talking about now. It just went down really well, so I thought I'd go a little bit more in depth than I could without a computer, basically. So yeah, thanks to Stefan Killerman and the entire Guitar Summit crew. Thanks to all the companies that attended the Guitar Summit, or, you know, promoted at the Guitar Summit, and then obviously the other guitar players that were involved, including Rabia Massad, Henning Pauly, Misha Mansour also did something for the Guitar Summit as well. Who else? I can't remember the names right now. I'm really bad with remembering things. So I do apologise, but all the guitar players that were also involved in the Guitar Summit. Thanks again for watching me songwrite some music, and thanks to Max for letting me use his riffs for this live stream. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye.